Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about volumes of spheres. Okay, so remember a sphere is the set of all points that are equidistant from a center point. So think of a 3D circle or a ball. Okay, so here's my sphere, here's my radius. Okay, it goes from the center to any point out on the sphere. The volume of the sphere can be found using the formula 4/3 pi r cubed. So I just need to know the radius, I can find the volume. Okay, very simple. You just got to remember the formula is all. Okay, so find the volume of this sphere. So we're going to write down our formula because we always write down the formula 4/3 pi r cubed. And now my radius is going to be 4. So volume is going to be 4/3 pi times 4 to the third power. So I'm going to get out my calculator at this point. And let's see. This is going to be 4 cubed. That's going to be 64. I'm going to calculator for that. But 64 times 4 divided by 3. 64 times 4 divided by 3. That's 8. That's 85 and a third pi. Now that's my exact answer. Cubic centimeters. Okay. Remember that's cubic centimeters because I'm measuring volume. Now, that's not really 100% useful, so I'm going to go ahead and go times 3.14. And this is going to be approximately 267.95 cubic centimeters, which is not as accurate, but it's probably accurate enough, and it's a much more useful number. Okay? So there's my volume. Pretty easy to do. Okay, find the radius of the sphere given the volume. So on this one, we already know the volume. We're going to go ahead and write down the volume formula anyway, though. Okay, then we're going to take our volume here and we're going to plug it in right here. So 288 pi equals 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. And we're going to figure out what r is. So the first thing I'm going to do, since I've got a pi on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and divide out the pi's. I don't need that. So 288 is going to equal 4/3 r cubed. Okay, now what I need to do is get rid of this 4/3, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 3/4. Because the 4 will cancel the 4, and the 3 will cancel the 3, and I'll have r cubed left. And so this is going to be 288 times 3 divided by 4. It's going to be 216. Oh, that's convenient because the cube root of 216, everybody knows, is 6. So the radius is going to be 6 inches. Okay, now you could calculate that using the cube root key on your calculator if that was a number that you didn't know. So that's how you go ahead and we would show it like this as our work. We would cube root both sides like that, and I'd get 6 inches. Okay, you get to do these. So on this one, you've got the diameter. You got to find the volume of the sphere. And for this one, you've got the volume. You got to find the radius. So pause your video, go do these two problems, then jump back on and show me what you got. Okay, so on this one, keep in mind, remember the formula. This is why we write these things down. 4/3 pi r cubed, not diameter cubed, radius cubed. So I need to convert this to a radius. That's going to be 8. So this is 4/3 pi times 8 cubed. All right, so 8 cubed, 512 times 4 divided by 3. This is going to be 682 2/3 pi. Feet, exactly. Okay, but again, not a number that I really want, so I'm going to go ahead and take 682 2/3 times 3.14, and the volume is going to be approximately 2,143.57 Oh, and these are cubic feet, by the way. Here's my two answers. Okay, so not real difficult. Okay, this one here, volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, and we've got 36 pi as our volume. Okay, and again, since I've got a pi on both sides, I can just divide that out. Okay, so this 36 is 4/3 r cubed. And I get rid of the 4/3 by multiplying by 3/4. Okay, so then the 4's cancel, the 3's cancel, I get r cubed equals 36 times 3 divided by 4 is going to be 27. And then if I cube root that, r is going to be 3, and that's going to be in meters. And there you go. Hopefully you got both of those right. Okay, now what's this thing? This is a silo. So a lot of times they have grain silos are shaped like this that they fill with corn or wheat or whatever. Okay, so basically you got a cylinder with a hemisphere stuck on top of it. Okay, so you're told that the whole thing is 52 feet high and that the silo has a radius of 12 feet. So this should be on here as well. Okay, so now what I've got, this is a composite figure, so I've got to figure out two things. The volume is going to be the volume of the cylinder, which we did before is pi r squared times the height, plus half of the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. So I just created a formula for a silo shape right here. But nobody wants to remember that formula, so that's why you just kind of build it as you go. Okay, so now the volume is pi, the radius is 12, so this is 12 squared, times the height of the cylinder. Now the height of the cylinder is going to be 52 minus 12, because remember the radius here is 12 feet, right? So this is going to be 40, plus half of 4/3 would be 2/3. Pi times the radius is 12 cubed. Okay. So we're probably going to want to use our calculator at this point. So 12 squared is 144 times 40. This is 5,760. Don't forget the pi. Plus 12 cubed. Times 2 divided by 3. This is 1,152 pi over here. Okay, I can combine these things because they're both pi's. So let's simplify this. Let's see, this is, if I add the 1152 to the 5760, I'm going to get 2, 11, 9, and 6. So it's 6,912 pi cubic feet. Exactly, which is approximately times 3.14, 21,703.68 cubic feet. Here's my answers. Exact, approximate. Okay, here's a couple. Now this is all on spheres. This one doesn't have a sphere in it, but it's a good review one because we did both of those shapes before. So I'm going to let you pause the video here, try to do these two problems, and then jump back on and see how you did. Okay, this one here, we're going to go ahead and create our formula. It's a cylinder, so that's going to be pi r squared h plus it's got half a sphere here and half a sphere here. So I need a whole sphere that's going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. There's my formula. So now I'm just going to fill in all the stuff. Okay, so volume is going to be pi. The radius is going to be 2 squared times the height is going to be 8 plus 4/3 pi times the radius is 2 again cubed. This is easy to do over here. This is 8 times 4, 32 pi. This is 8 times 4 is 32/3 pi. All right, let's go ahead and figure out what this is. So 32 divided by 3 is 10 2/3 times 3.14. So this is about 33.49 over here. And 32 times 3.14 would be about 100.48 over here. And so that's going to be plus 33.49, 133.97, and this is in cubic inches. Okay. Now this one over here, this is going to be a cylinder, so that's going to be pi r squared h plus a cone, which is 1/3 the area of the base, but the base is a circle, so that's pi r squared times the height of the cone. And I'm going to call that h2 because that height and this height are two different things. This is the height of the cylinder, this is the height of the cone. Okay, so pi, the radius is going to be 3 because the diameter is 6, so this is 3 squared, times the height of the cylinder is 9, plus 1/3 pi, the radius is still 3 squared, but the height of the cone is 5. Okay, this is 9 times 9, this is 81 pi over here. And this is 9, but 1/3 of that would be 3. 3 times 5 is 15 pi. So this is going to be 96 pi right here, exactly, cubic meters. And then we can go ahead and just go 96 times 3.14. That's going to be 301.44 cubic meters. So there you go. Hopefully you got both those answers. Okay, we're going to do 1 through 23, the odd ones in class, and I will see you guys later.